So how does an anime ruin their chances of ever getting a season 2? You know, our favorite animes with the 12 episodes where we all watch it at 12 o'clock a.m. and just, you know, lose our sleep because we all want to finish it in one night. Sadly, a lot of it has to do with popularity, and unfortunately, that's out of our hands. We can't change people's perspectives on how this anime is phenomenal. You know, the one case being 86. You know, still want a season 2. If you've seen the last video, I've talked about it a lot. But yeah, a lot of it has to do with popularity again. But one of the ones that I like to mention, and it's very, very, very underrated. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have an English translation of a physical copy of their own manga. What I'm talking about is Sounds of Life, or Ototomore, Sounds of Life. And this one, again, is very well animated. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the performances that they have give me just chills, dude. That's how good it is. And one fun fact about this manga slash anime is that the mangaka of this anime or manga actually composes the songs for the soundtrack of the anime. And honestly, I don't see this type of work at all with any other forms of, you know, fiction or at all of their own works. A lot of this is very unique to me, and I just found this out. And it's honestly really cool. And it's not just her working on it on herself. It's actually her and her sister composing these notes. And what's actually pretty cool about this as well is that they don't hire any professional players that play the koto. Actually, the cool thing about it is it's essentially kind of ties in with the plot of the anime. They hire new players of the koto, or people that are just not experienced, teach them and hold auditions for them, and they play the performances that you see within the anime, which is just pretty cool in my opinion. You don't see that a lot, you don't hear that a lot, and I hope that just one day this actually gets a physical copy of their own manga as well as a new season of their anime. And sadly, we just haven't got any news for that. I mean, I really want to add that to my manga shelf because it's really cool. Another reason as to why an anime just doesn't get a season 2 has to be with internal conflict. Now, this doesn't really happen all that much. I mean, it does, but what I'm about to tell you just doesn't happen at all. I think this is its own standalone case, which I'm surprised it even happened. In my opinion, it's just really messed up. But yeah, this one has to do with Kokoro Connect. And this one is, and this anime was pretty cool. It had the romance that I, you know, enjoy. It has the animation that I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with because it looks similar to other ones like K-On! Okay, user error here. I am a complete idiot. Studio Silver Link was the one that made Kokoro Connect, and K-On! Was actually developed by Kyoto Animation. So whatever you do, do not listen to what this idiot just said. Yes, I am that said idiot, so I apologize for giving you misinformation. Now that that's clear, enjoy the rest of the video. Yeah, this one was just a messed up case where a voice actor was hired to play a role as a specific character in this Kokoro's Connect anime, and essentially what happened was that he did lines, he did promotions, but he was ran to the bone to promote this anime, all for it to not pay off. He wasn't compensated with money. He also even wasn't compensated for a role in the anime, and they pretty much, it was just an elaborate and messed up prank set by the people that were also voicing some of the characters within the anime, which is mind-blowing. How and why would you think this would be funny? It wasn't. It was actually very messed up because at the end of everything that this guy had to go through, they pretty much made fun of him during an announcement by the people that were voicing the main cast of the anime, and essentially just pointed and laughed at him. And it's messed up. He never really got compensated. Now, I say not compensated at all. There is a light to the end of the tunnel with this one, so it's not too messed up, but it still kind of sucks for the guy. But yeah, this is the reason why, you know, this never got a season 2 was that everybody found out the news about what happened with this guy, and essentially people just boycotted the anime. They gave it a 1-star rating, no one supported it, and it shut itself off for a season 2, which is completely unfortunate because if you watch the anime, it's phenomenal. I watched it sub, and I only found out, you know, right after what happened to the whole scenario why I never got a season 2. And when rewatching it, I watched it dub because I don't support that messed up level of, you know, mindset. It's disgusting. But I did mention that there was a light at the end of the tunnel with this one, and the guy that got pranked, the guy that never got to voice a character, did get a role. He actually got a role for an OVA, but it wasn't all that. It wasn't like he had a main cast or a main spotlight. He was pretty much just a side character of a side character. He was just a background character that had align. I mean, although, yeah, I wish he did get a little bit more screen time. He got what he needed, at least. I hope he does have more roles in other animes. If not, I just feel bad for the guy, because not only did he get publicly shamed, he also got made fun of. And it would just be really unfortunate if he just never got an anime role. Lastly, is very unfortunate for those who are a fan of Tacto P Destiny. And this one all has to do with the company that is behind it all. And it's not a studio or mangaka. It actually has to do with a gaming company. Because if you're not familiar with Tacto P Destiny, this is actually a game. And the anime that was released with, you know, super duper awesome animation, it was just all a huge advertisement for their game. So yeah, the episode 1 through 12 was all a promotional video. It was good. The concept was awesome. The music is amazing. The power system is something that I wasn't even familiar with, so it was like a fresh breath air for this type of anime. And it was all crumbled to pieces. My expectations were stomped on. My heart was essentially grabbed from my chest and curb stomped right in front of me. Yeah, but it was. I found out that it was never going to get a season 2. And I was like, damn, that's unfortunate. Maybe I'll look up some videos for the game. And I found out that the game was also shut down due to popularity and due to it just not being a great game. So yeah, the promotional was for a game that just essentially flopped. And I remember somebody saying that the game is still up. Yeah, it's definitely not up. I've searched it up and it's still down. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these animes that have a, you know, potential just don't end up having potential. And these are just rare cases that I've seen and picked out, because most of the blame either has to do with the company that's in charge of the anime or the game, as well as the cast that has to ruin it all. But again, as I mentioned way at the beginning of my first point, is a lot of these just have to do with popularity. And it's unfortunate because there are some countless animes that exist that don't have a season 2, and it kind of hurts your heart when, again, you're laying down in your bed 1 o'clock in the morning, you're looking for an anime and you're like, man, maybe I'll watch this romance one, and you're all, you know, kicking your legs like a little girl watching it, seeing, you know, the couple that you've longed for in the span of 1 through maybe 4 or 5 episodes. Episode 12 where they're happy and you're not, you're actually crying because you find out that you're lonely. Yeah. That's all I really had to say. It's unfortunate, again, these season 2s just don't exist anymore because of either popularity or the cast, or, you know, the party that's in charge of the season 2 that's not the studio. Yeah, it's really sad. I wish there was more season 2s, especially for Kokoro's Connect. Hopefully, maybe one day there's like somebody really passionate about that anime that ends up making a petition, maybe making a season 2 for it. I still haven't read the manga, so if there is a manga and it does continue on further, I do hope to read it. In fact, maybe I'll read it at the end of this video. But yeah, hopefully one day there's a guy that gets enough signatures and hopefully knocks on their door and says, hey buddy, make us a season 2. And they're just like, oh, this is really popular, might as well do it, but we won't do these guys. The chances of that are very slim. I remember there was a DM, somebody asking me to do it, but this anime was, I don't know, pretty old. I'm not even gonna lie, it's probably early 2010. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like or even subscribe? It helps out a lot. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios.